Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me today. We are doing a fun fold card using the Waterside Retreat Suite. Now we're going to use the bundle. We're also using the paper, which is not one of our sale products right now, but we are going to be using the Country Woods designer paper as well, and that is one of our sale items. So first of all, this Waterside Retreat, super cute, and it goes perfectly with the paper. So let me show you that paper. Now this is not on sale, but it is a gorgeous paper. So we have the hero side. This one has all different elements, and so we're going to be using this one for our card today. And then on the back side is this great kind of nautical stripe. Then we have these boys and life preservers. And then on the back we have a great wood grain, which we could have used on the papers today, but you'll see why I chose a different one. We have the oars and life preservers or life jackets. And then this other fun stripe here. And then we have all kinds of fish. I have used so many sheets of fish. And then this cool little water wave pattern paper, or pattern on its side. We have bicycles, and then a pool party kind of wash with seagulls, like tone on tone. And then we have this beautiful watercolor seagull look, and a plaid using the peaceful pine and old olive on the other side. So the Waterside, not the Waterside Retreat, the Country Woods paper, I just opened a new pack. I have a stack of this because I use it all the time. So this comes with different colors in different wood grain patterns. This is the one we're using today. This just reminds me of the beach. Now I grew up going to the beach all the time in Florida, and so this one just really strikes me as that beachy type of vibe. So that's the pattern we're using. Then we have this really dark wood grain with kind of a gray planked wood grain on this side. Then we have this one that looks more like a finished wood grain that you'd see at the hardware store. And then this fun weathered color with pool party. I would say maybe Coastal Cabana, those colors. Then we have this one that's kind of a distressed wood. And this has some of that coral or timid tiger. It's got a little orange tint to it with calypso coral kind of weathered wood on the other side. And then we have two more. It just keeps coming. We have this one, kind of a bleached out weather wood. And then this is one of my favorites. I use this one a lot. Is this what kind of whitewashed weathered wood pattern. And then this one, which has some different colors to it. It has some blacks and grays. And it has kind of this fun little golden, kind of yellowish color to go in there. And then on the back, kind of a bluish gray, thin wood pattern, thin little wood grain marks. So this one, the Country Woods paper, is the one that's on sale this month. So I know when I looked just before I got on was low stock. So if you're watching this probably I will post this on Saturday. You might want to check and order some of that if you want. Okay, so let's get started. So this is a fun fold, and I've used 4 1/4 by 11 on my crumb cake cardstock, and then we scored it at 1 1/2 and 5 1/2. So it's going to open this way, and I'm just going to fold back that one panel right there. And then I have my 2 pieces of the Country Woods paper. I think I'll put the darker, heavier one on there. And then I'm going to layer this on a piece of Night of Navy. And I just cut it 1/8 of an inch bigger to make a really thin border because I want the designer paper to pop. That's the pattern I want, but I also, having that darker color behind it makes it pop out even more. So that's a little tip. If you have a color, so if you look at it, I mean, it's nice, but when you add it to a dark pattern, whether it's black or navy or espresso, it's gonna pop out even more. Okay, now I have a piece of white. I'm layering this on Night of Navy as well. That's for my inside. I'm not gonna glue that until I stamp because, you know, it's always better to stamp and then glue, just in case you have an oopsie and need to flip it over and do it again. That happens to the best of us. So I've cut down that pattern that I showed you I was using from the sheet of all the different elements and cut it down to 4 by 4. I think I cut it 4 by 4. That's right, 4 by 4. And then I layered it on 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 of the Night of Navy. And then I'm putting it on a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 panel of crumb cake because I want this the same color as my base. So what I'm going to do is just put glue, whoop, I don't want that, glue on this panel only here. And then I'm going to layer this right in the middle. I'm going to stick it down right in the center of the card front so it's even on both sides, flush with the bottom and top. I think that's pretty good. Make sure, that's why I like the liquid glue. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room just to make sure I have it perfect. Okay, so what that's gonna do is open it up like that. And then we're gonna take these 2 panels and glue them. I'm gonna glue one right here, right in the front, and leave that very thin border of crumb cake. You see that peeks out right there? It adds all the colors that are in here. We've got this coral in here, we've got some white, we've got crumb cake, we've got a little blue and gray, and then I'm going to glue the other one behind the panel on this left side. Now we have that fun kind of beachy weathered vibe there, opening like that. Okay, now let's do our stamping. So we have piece of white for the inside, and then I've got a piece of white to stamp a few things. So I'm just using basic gray today. That's the only color ink I'm using. And I've got of the big beach chair and the 2 of these, whoop, yeah, 2 of these, what are these little guys? Oh, I can't get my thing to hold still. 2 of the, I think that's what's wrong. I think I need to tighten that up just a little bit more. 2 of the seagulls, and I'm going to take my basic gray. I'm going to ink up our birds and our chair. And we're just going to stamp these on this scrap piece of white because I'm going to color and die cut those. And then I've got just have a great birthday. I always need masculine cards. I'm going to stamp this over to the left just a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp this little seagull again. I'm going to put him on the little block so I don't have to mess with the big one. I'm just going to stamp him right there. And seagulls are gray and white, so I don't even have to color him. That's going to go right on another layer of that Night of Navy. And then this one, I'm just coloring the chair. I'm going to use Pool Party. And I'm going to use the dark And I'm just kind of doing it where I think there would be some shadow maybe, with my dark kind of in the back here, under the armrests. Anything that's kind of in the shade. That's probably good. And then we'll use our light to color in the rest. I would use my other tip, but I was doing kind of prepping ahead and it's starting to get a little dry. You know, we have certain colors that we tend to use a lot, and Pool Party is one of those for me. Do I wish we had, you can see that's getting dry. Do I wish we had refills? Yes. I still got some in here. The tip is also a little soft, and that just comes from using them a lot in classes. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. This is, you know, it's a beach chair, so it's going to be a little weathered. So if there's a little white shining through, it's okay. All right, so we're going to take our dies. We've got one for the chair. We've got dies for our birds. We're going to run that through our die cutting machine. And then this is what comes out. Mine slid a little bit, so I'm a little heavy on the left side. When that happens, if it's more than you want, you can just do a little trimming. I've got just a little bit, maybe more than I want here. And you can just trim a little bit down if you want. Like I said, sometimes we have whoopsies. Sometimes our dies slide while we're trying to die cut, and not, and then you have to adjust just a tad. I don't have to adjust all of this, just a little bit. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the inside. Okay. So I'm going to pop up our chair. Let's grab some dimensionals. Put one there, maybe one here. Okay. This would be a great retirement card. We have some retirement sentiments. I'm going to put this little seagull like standing on the arm of the chair. And because he's standing on the arm of the chair, I'm just going to color right where his feet are, so it looks like he's standing there. And then let's see if we can fit, no, I'm not going to fit a mini dimensional. Let's just cut a little sliver of dimensional off the side to pop up this other bird. Okay. Might do two. That's pretty thin. Let's cut another one. Okay. And we're just going to pop him up there. That is all we're doing to the front. Isn't that pretty? If you want to use a little wink of Stella on the water to give it a little bit of, you know, water when you see it glistens, that would be pretty. Maybe I'll do that real quick. So we're going to put our sentiment. So I have birthday, but this would be perfect for a retirement card. And I'm putting it over here to the left. All right, let's grab a link of Stella. Let's see if I've got one that's kind of working here. This one is kind of working. Putting a little bit between the reeds there. Oh, that looks cute. Gonna kind of look in the, get a reflection if you can. I can't tell if you can see that or not. Or a little reflection. I can see it, but it's just a little reflection in the water. And that is our project for today. So make sure to click subscribe if you haven't done so you don't miss out on future videos. We have this designer paper 15% off this week, the Country Woods. I will post measurements and supplies on my blog. And remember, when you spend $50 or more with me online during that month, I'll send you a kit of that month's card class projects for free. All right. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.